on Saturday found a woman dead in a home south of the Ridgeway area, and they've identified the victim as Rhonda Lockett. Investigators say the victim's estranged husband, Joseph Lockett, is a suspect. He's wanted for first-degree murder. Deputies say he should be considered armed and dangerous.
I love me. I love me. I love the person that I've became. Because now...
On a quiet Saturday afternoon in Ridgeway, Virginia, a 911 call broke the peace of Garrett Road. A teenage boy's trembling voice came to the line saying, "My mom needs help." Minutes later, deputies arrived at a small white house, the kind that always looked peaceful from the outside, and walked into a scene that would shatter a family forever. Inside, 39-year-old Rhonda Hairston, a loving mother too, lay lifeless in her bedroom, the victim of a brutal act that no one saw coming. Before we dive deeper into this heartbreaking story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay updated with more real-life mysteries right here on Shadow Crime. These stories are more than headlines. They're people, lives, and moments that deserve to be remembered. Now, Rhonda wasn't just another name in the news. Friends described her as a caring and joyful woman who worked hard to give her two sons the best life she could. Her oldest was 21, already finding his way in the world, and her youngest, just 17, still in high school, the same boy who would make that tragic call to 911. Rhonda's life, according to those who knew her, revolved around her boys. They were her world. But behind the warmth of her smile was a storm brewing quietly. Rhonda had been in a relationship with a man named Joseph Chad Lockett, a man who at first made her feel loved and protected. Neighbors said they'd seen the couple together at cookouts, laughing and holding hands. For a while, everything seemed normal. Then, things began to change. Arguments grew louder, the laughter faded, and soon the relationship turned toxic. They eventually separated, but as many know, sometimes letting go isn't as easy as walking away. Rhonda and Joseph had only recently ended things for good, just a week before her death. Family members later revealed that she had made the decision to move on with her life, to focus on herself and her sons. But for Joseph, that decision may have felt like rejection. Authorities described Joseph as Rhonda's estranged husband. They weren't living together anymore. And according to family, Rhonda had been trying to distance herself for her own safety. Her brother, Casey Alcorn, told reporters that Rhonda was done with the chaos and just wanted peace. But jealousy, anger, and control are dangerous emotions when left unchecked. On October 18th, 2025, everything reached its breaking point. Rhonda's youngest son was at home when Joseph came by. No one knows exactly what was said in those final moments, whether it was an argument, a plea, or silence. But what we do know is that Joseph pulled out a gun. Within seconds, the life of a kind-hearted mother was stolen. The motive? While police haven't officially confirmed it, Rhonda's brother believes it was jealousy. He said she'd moved on and that Joseph couldn't handle it. It's tragic. How love can twist into obsession. How care can become control. And in that moment of rage, he didn't just destroy her life. He destroyed his own, too. When deputies arrived, the scene was heartbreaking. Rhonda's 17-year-old son met them at the door, terrified and pleading for help. Inside, his mother's body lay motionless. The home that once echoed with laughter was now filled with grief.
Louise Mur3ered coming to you live here at the Henry County Sheriff's Office with Henry County Sheriff Wayne Davis. He's going to provide some information in regards to the homicide that they're investigating happened on Saturday. So, Sheriff, at this time, what can you share with us?
This past Saturday at approximately 12:15, we received a call to conduct a well-being check there on Garrett Road in Ridgeway. Our deputies responded shortly thereafter. Upon arrival at the home, they made contact with a 17-year-old male juvenile who had stated he had just found his mother in a state of distress and that she needed help. Our deputies immediately went inside. What we determined was that individual was in fact deceased at that time. Through the course of the investigation, this investigative team worked diligently, day in and day out, to bring justice to this family for this tragic incident. So what we determined is that the individual, Miss Rhonda Hairston Lockett, was in fact deceased from a single gunshot wound. Through the course of that investigation, they spent Saturday and Sunday collecting physical evidence, forensic evidence, and conducting witness interviews. As a result of that, we determined that Joseph Chad Lockett was responsible for her death. At such time, we charged him with first-degree murder. We currently have an outstanding first-degree murder warrant on him. We are looking for his whereabouts, so anyone who may know where he's at, please contact 911 or the Mur3ered County Crime Stoppers program. We do believe that he could be dangerous to our community, so we ask for anyone's help to bring him into custody today.
And Sheriff, when it comes to the relationship with these individuals, everyone speaks on social media, sometimes accurate, sometimes not. We've been talking about that all weekend. But what can you tell us in regards to their relationship?
The information that was reported to us is that they are in fact married, and he is her estranged husband. They were going through some type of separation. We continue to work on that, though.
And in regards to him being wanted, the best thing for him would be to come and turn himself in.
Absolutely. We'd encourage him to come turn yourself in right here at the magistrate's office peacefully. You can call us and tell us where you're at. If you don't have a means of transportation, we'll come out and take care of the paperwork at hand. We obviously seek a peaceful resolution to this. Even good people make poor choices, so we'd encourage you again. If you're listening, Mr. Lockett, please turn yourself in or let us know where you're at so we can take you into custody without incident.
And Sheriff, has this been a complex case in regards to? I know all of them are, but what has this put strain on your deputies? Again,
I'm blessed to have such a strong team here at the Sheriff's Office. So, unfortunately, we have far too much experience with these. It's really sad. This is at least our third domestic-related homicide this year. There's no place in society. It's 2025. There's no place for domestic violence. So we encourage anyone to look for the warning signs of domestic violence. And if you yourself are potentially involved in a poor relationship or a dangerous relationship, please don't hesitate to reach out to someone for help. As well as if you know someone who's in a relationship where there are red flags or causes of concern, please educate yourself.
We know, of course, that this month is Domestic Awareness Month, so it's appropriate for you to be sharing those tips with the community.
Yes, absolutely. Again, this is an absolutely senseless act of domestic. Hard to bring closure for this family and ultimately justice to the victim.
And if the community has any information in regards to anything that they saw, they should contact you as well.
That's right. You can contact us in a host of ways. You can contact the 911 center directly. You can contact the Mur3ered County Crime Stoppers program at 276-63-CRIME. You can use the new Tip 411 app, file your information anonymously online through the app, or you can use our Citizen Connect portal. So we've really expanded the ways that people can stay in touch with us. So please, if you know anything about this incident or the whereabouts of Joseph Chad Lockett, please let us know through one of those means.
And another thing that people have been talking about again on social media is if individuals are helping him elude arrest, so they could also possibly be looking at charges, right?
Most certainly. If we find out anyone is aiding him in avoiding capture, we will charge them as well.
All right. Anything else we need to know about this case, Sheriff?
Again, I'd just like to thank my team of deputies and investigators here at the Sheriff's Office for their diligent and tireless work, and we'll continue to work tirelessly until he's brought into custody. And in addition to that, thank our partnership for Henry County Public Safety and our volunteer rescue units who respond to these scenes with us. And we oftentimes overlook our 911 dispatchers who are in the fourth floor of this building. They are tremendous help in gathering these initial phases, gathering information to disseminate it to our deputies. Not only that, they continue to work with us throughout the course of the investigation, running information and tags and license. So again, thank you to our 911 dispatchers as well.
Thank you, Sheriff, and thank you everyone for joining us. Mur3ered at the Henry County Sheriff's Office for RBS News Now and Star News.
Imagine, for a moment, being that 17-year-old boy, seeing the person you once trusted, the man who was part of your family, now standing as a cause of unimaginable pain. It's the kind of trauma that lingers, that shapes a lifetime. That was the reality for Rhonda's sons, whose world was ripped apart in a single violent moment. Friends and neighbors say Rhonda was devoted to her children, often seen cheering from the sidelines at school games or helping with homework late into the night. Her life was ordinary, filled with love and routine, but it's exactly that ordinary life that makes her story so heartbreaking. Joseph's arrest came soon after. Law enforcement tracked him down in Martinsville, and the brief standoff ended without further bloodshed. He was taken into custody. charged with first-degree murder, use of a firearm during a felony, and possession of a firearm as a violent felon. Court records show that despite the seriousness of these charges, Joseph had a history of anger issues and previous run-ins with the law, painting a picture of a man struggling to control emotions that ultimately led to disaster. But let's pause and reflect on this for a second. Think about the complexity of human relationships, the way love can turn into obsession or even violence when boundaries are ignored. Rhonda tried to walk away. She tried to protect herself and her children, and yet, in one fatal decision, everything changed. It's hard not to feel anger, sadness, and disbelief at how quickly life can pivot from normal to devastating. Family accounts describe Rhonda as vibrant and determined. She had dreams for her boys, plans for her future, and the courage to leave a dangerous situation behind. Yet, despite her strength, she couldn't escape the violence that came from someone she once trusted implicitly. For many watching, this raises uncomfortable but important questions. How do we recognize the warning signs before it's too late? How do victims like Rhonda find safety in relationships that spiral out of control? The investigation continues, but what sticks with most people isn't just crime itself. It's the humanity lost in the act. Rhonda wasn't a headline. She was a mother, a sister, a friend. Her story is a reminder that violence can touch anyone, even in the most seemingly safe spaces. And her sons, who should have been focusing on school and growing up, are now facing trauma that will follow them forever. Psychologically, this case challenges us to examine the depths of jealousy, possessiveness, and the dangerous extremes of control. It pushes us to consider, why do some individuals allow anger to overshadow love? How do we, as a society, intervene before someone's obsession ends in tragedy? And for you watching this, take a moment to reflect on the people in your life. Who do you trust? Who do you watch for signs that something isn't right? Stories like Rhonda's aren't just stories. They are lessons, warnings, and calls for awareness. If this story has hit you hard, if you feel the weight of what happened to Rhonda and her family, make sure to support the channel by subscribing, clicking the bell icon, and staying engaged. At Shadow Crime, we bring you real stories, not just to shock you, but to help you understand the human side of crime, the heartbreak, and the lessons that come with it.
Live here with Henry County Sheriff Wayne Davis. I am Luis Romero, and we are Niblet. Is it Niblet Drive? Niblet Drive, off of Figsboro Road. And there has been the conclusion of a brief barricade. Is that correct?
It started off that way, Luis. I told you earlier our team wouldn't rest until we had Joseph Chad Lockett in custody. I can report to the community he is now in custody. We received information he was located in this trailer here at the end of Niblet Drive off of Figsboro Road. Our deputies arrived quickly. We established a perimeter. We gave multiple commands to come out. He initially refused, but after a couple of minutes, he did eventually surrender.
All right, so we should be back with internet here. So, Sheriff, as you were saying before the internet went out, that the individual led you guys on a brief barricade.
Yes, we received information he was located in this mobile home. Our deputies arrived quickly. We established a perimeter. He initially did not exit the trailer, but after giving commands for a few minutes, he ultimately decided to exit the trailer, where he was taken into custody without incident.
And you said that you guys have really exhausted every effort to try to bring Lockett into custody.
Most certainly. This investigative team and our deputies have worked tirelessly since Saturday, since this original call came in, to, one, solve the case, identify who done this, and take this individual into custody. We're thankful to have taken him into custody to ensure that our community is safe this afternoon. He is currently being transported to the magistrate's office, where he'll be formally charged with first-degree murder, use of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a violent convicted felon.
And Sheriff, for those individuals that don't know, in case they're just learning about the case during this broadcast, can you tell us what exactly occurred on Saturday?
Yes, without sounding like a robot, Luis, this past Saturday, we received a call about 12:15 where a female was a well-being check. Our deputies responded out to that location. They spoke with her juvenile son, who had just located his mother. He advised our deputies that his mother needed medical assistance. We determined the female was, in fact, deceased from a single gunshot wound. We worked on that case throughout the day, Saturday and Sunday, and we finally identified Mr. Lockett, obtained the evidence necessary to charge him late Sunday night.
Again, Sheriff, again, we're battling internet issues here, but you said that this individual will not just be facing the first-degree murder charge.
Yes, since our last interview, we've issued 2 additional charges on him. In addition to the first-degree murder, there's use of a firearm and commission of a felony, as well as possession of a firearm by a violent convicted felon.
Sheriff, we mentioned during an interview earlier that this is Domestic Awareness Month, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and one of the things that you have said, and I can say it, is that it's difficult to be able to police domestic violence.
It's very difficult to proactively police domestic violence. I'm unaware of any previous domestic violence calls between these 2 individuals, but what we'd ask our community to look out for one another. Be aware of the signs of domestic violence. Be aware of the red flags. It could be simple as a spouse or intimate partner making threats to one another. Like one of the recent stories that was told to me, a spouse had threatened his spouse before they were divorced that he would run the vehicle into a tree and kill her. If your spouse says something like that, that's a warning sign. Please notify the proper authorities or reach out for help.
And Sheriff, in closing, you guys will be able to move on to other cases now that this one has been resolved, and thankfully it was a peaceful resolution after he decided that he did not want to comply.
Yes, we are thankful for a peaceful resolution. Again, I'm thankful for the deputies and the investigative team here at the Sheriff's Office. And again, we can never be too safe about domestic violence. Please learn the warning signs. Please, if someone comes to you and tells you, please listen to what they have to say. Guide them in the right direction, help them get them safe. We take domestic violence very seriously, and we encourage everyone else to as well.
All right, folks, so we're going to let Sheriff go here, but this is the mobile home where Mr. Lockett was taken into custody just moments ago after a brief...
Now, let's dive into the deeper layers of this tragedy, the part that stays with you long after the news reports fade. Joseph's actions didn't happen in a vacuum. Behind closed doors, his jealousy and need for control had been simmering, building tension that no one outside could fully see. Neighbors recalled seeing arguments that seemed minor at the time, disagreements over household matters, over boundaries, over freedom, small sparks that, unchecked, can ignite catastrophic fire. Rhonda had made it clear she wanted a life separate from him, a chance to breathe, to protect her children, and to find peace. Her courage to step away was remarkable, especially considering the emotional ties, the shared history, and the love that may have once existed. But in some relationships, love could be twisted into possession. That distortion, combined with past anger issues, created a perfect storm. Joseph's inability to let go, his unwillingness to respect Rhonda's decision, became deadly. It's chilling to think how quickly resentment can turn into action, how a moment of rage can destroy lives irreparably. For her sons, life will never be the same. 1 minute, they were living ordinary lives, and the next, they were confronted with the unimaginable. The grief, fear, and confusion they must have faced is something no child should endure. And yet, through this horror, their mother's bravery shines. She made a stand for herself, tried to assert her independence, and even in death, her story sends a message about courage, resilience, and the need to recognize dangerous patterns before tragedy strikes. It's natural to wonder why someone who once shared love with another can turn so violently. It's uncomfortable, but necessary to consider. How do emotions like jealousy, anger, and control evolve into destructive force? How does one recognize the point at which affection becomes obsession? And how can families, friends, and communities intervene when warning signs appear, without making the situation worse? These aren't easy questions, and they don't have simple answers, but they are the questions that every story like Rhonda's forces us to face. Rhonda's death is more than a statistic. It's a stark reminder that violence can erupt in ordinary lives, that even a home filled with love and routine can harbor danger. It's also a call to reflect on our own relationships, to recognize boundaries, and to act when we see patterns of control or obsession. And perhaps most importantly, it challenges us to hold space for the victims, to remember their humanity beyond the headlines. If you followed Rhonda's story to this point, I encourage you to honor her life by staying informed, raising awareness, and keeping conversations about domestic safety alive. Share her story, talk about warning signs, and most importantly, be vigilant in your own communities. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for shadow crime. where we tell these stories with care, respect, and a focus on understanding the human side of crime. Think about it. How would you recognize the signs if someone close to you were in danger? What would you do if love and fear collided in the way it did for Rhonda? These are the questions that linger long after the news fades, challenging us to stay aware, stay vigilant, and never underestimate the silent struggles happening around us.